Welcome everybody to Headlock Field, where in today's matchup is between the visiting Windham Eagles versus the Portland Bulldogs. Coming into this game for Portland, they got back into the win column with a 4-3 victory over Scarborough in their last game. It was their first win after getting the first two in the season, and then they tied and dropped four straight. But Portland looking to get this momentum back that they started with. And so coming into today, the batting order is Colby Winship, Anthony Bisco, Henry Bibeau, Grant Crosby, Andrew Legere, Andrew Brewer, Mason Rang, James Gignac, and Aidan Demillo. For Windham, coming into this game, they've dropped their last two. They're looking to get back into the win column. They only have one win on the season, but everyone makes the playoffs, so you just take every game as it is, and you try to win as many games as you can before the playoffs start. In their last game, they played Deering. They were up 3-1, and they allowed 3 runs in the top of the 7th to Deering, and they lost that game. So let's see if they come into this game with a chip on their shoulder, knowing that they could have gotten their second win their last game. So coming into this game, their batting order is Logan DeRocher, Blake Peoples, Alex Wing, Colby Raynor, Logan Martin, Brady Harvey, Ethan Baker, Eric Bowen, and Sam Plummer.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would ask that you please rise as we honor America and those who protect her with the playing of our national anthem.
So setting Portland defensively in the outfield, left to right, is Colby Winship, Aidan Demillo, and Andrew Brewer. In the infield, left to right, is Mason Rang, Henry Bibeau, Anthony Bisco, and Grant Crosby. Behind the plate is James Gignac, and the starting pitcher for Portland is Sam Payne. Here we go for the top of the first. Leading off Windham is Logan DeRochers. First pitch is in there for a strike on the outside corner. And it's a swing, and it's hit foul. So it's a 0-2 count. And I have to say that it's not as nice as it was in the first game, but it's still better than what it has been in past weeks.
Yeah, as I will say about baseball starting early in Maine, it's baseball and football weather.
It's a 1-2 count. And it's a dribbler to Rang. And after bobbling it, Rang throws it over for the first out.
Yeah, that was really good. He kept the ball in front of him. He stayed with it. He made a nice throw. Because sometimes you can try to make a quick throw to get the runner out after that, but he was right on the spot.
So that brings up Blake Peoples with 1 out. And it drops on the outside corner for strike 1.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pitch.
And it's a bunt. And it's foul.
Well, and Rang is playing right up on the grass, too. So maybe the scouting report said he was going to attempt a bunt. And with a 2-strike count, Rang's still up on the grass.
And it drops in for strike 3.
Oh, he put the hammer on him.
So 2 quick outs for Payne. And that brings up Alex Wing with 2 outs. And that's on the outside corner for strike 1. And it's ripped foul. And that hit off the brick next to the dugout and bounced back into the dugout. And it's low and outside for ball 1. So it's a 1-2 count to Wing. And Wing hits it up the middle for a 2-out single.
Nice try by the Portland pitcher to get that ball.
The catcher, number 14, Colby Raynor.
So that brings up Colby Raynor with a chance to extend this inning.
And we'll keep our eye out on the runner at first. Halfway decent lead over there.
In the dirt for ball 1.
Nice stop.
In the dirt for ball 2.
Portland pitcher seems a little tentative on the throws. Having to keep an eye out on the runner at first.
And that's hit out to Winship in left, and he runs it down and gets the 3rd out.
Drifted back.
So even though Payne allowed a hit, there was no damage done. So after half an inning, it's Windham nothing. Portland coming up. Setting Windham defensively in the outfield left to right is Eric Bowen, Blake Peoples, and Ryan Bernard. In the infield left to right is Logan Martin, Brady Harvey, Logan DeRochers, and Alex Wing. behind the plate is Colby Raynor, and the starting pitcher for Windham is Ethan Barker. Here we go for the bottom of the first. Colby Winship leading off. First pitch is up high for ball one. And Winship hits it to left. And Bowen has to take a couple steps back to get the out.
And he had to reach back for that too. But he kept his eye on it and caught it.
So that brings up Anthony Bisco with one out. It's on the outside corner, strike one. Foul. 0-2 count. And that hits him. So Bisco gets a free base.
Well, two things there. The weather's not cold, so it's not going to hurt as much. And it wasn't a fastball.
So that brings up Henry Bibeau.
And we'll keep our eye on the runner at first.
And it's cranked into center. And that's over the head of Peoples. And that's going to bring around Bisco. And Bisco slides head first. And Portland gets on the board first.
What a nice hit. Wow.
So an RBI double for Bibeau.
Even the shortstop gave him like a fist bump.
That brings up Grant Crosby with one out. Bibeau on at second. And it's called strike on the outside corner.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there. Don't see a ball hit that far out in center field.
It's on the outside corner again for strike two. And swing and a miss for strike three.
Well, at this point, the pitcher's got to help himself out, and that was what he needed.
And Andrew Legere at the plate with two outs. It's inside for ball one. And it's hit to Martin, and he fires over to first for the third out, but not before Portland puts a run on the board. So after one complete, it's Portland 1, Windham nothing. Here we go for the top of the second. Leading off is Logan Martin.
So Portland scored their run, and, it always happens either with a walk or a hit batter. Sometimes those come back to haunt you. And they end up coming in to score runs. It happens on all level of baseball.
It's a 2-0 count. It's in there on the outside corner for strike one. And it's hit foul. So it's a 2-2 count. And it's hit in the infield, and Bibeau tracks it down for the first out. And that brings up Brady Harvey with 1 out. And that's hit out to right. And a nice catch by Brewer.
That was a nice one. Way to go.
So that puts 2 away. So Ethan Barker comes up with 2 outs. It's on the outside corner for strike 1.
You know, and for Portland, they're going to need some nice defensive plays like that.
And that's hit to Bibeau. He gathers himself and fires over for the 3rd out. And so 3 up and 3 down for Portland. So after 1.5, it's Portland 1, Windham nothing. Here we go for the bottom of the 2nd. Andrew Brewer leading off.
And you know, good things happen when you make an awesome catch the prior inning.
It's in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, I should say good things could happen. I don't want to build up any expectations.
And that's hit to DeRochers. And he throws it to first for the first out. Well, that brings up Mason Rang with 1 out. It's up high for ball 1. Swing and a miss. It's a 1-1 count. That drops in there for strike 2.
Oh, that was a nice pitch. Looked like it was going to be high, but it just dropped right over the plate.
And that's roped into left. And that's off of Bowen, but doesn't get too far away from him. So Rang only gets a single. And that brings up James Gignac.
And we'll keep our eye on the runner at first. Not a huge lead.
Rang takes off, and that's hit into right. And not sure what Rang.
I don't know if he knew or what was going on. He didn't catch the coach at third, but let's hope that not going down to third doesn't end up being, whatever. But he didn't make it to third.
And so that brings up Aidan Demillo. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Inside for ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Well, the pitcher's got to work himself out of this.
low for ball 2. And it's popped up into center where Peoples gets the second out.
Well, you know, even if the runner on second was over on third, that probably would have been too shallow for him to attempt to tag up to run home anyway.
So that brings up Colby Winship with 2 outs. High and outside for ball 1. Last time up, he flew out to left. It's in there for strike 1. Rang is on at second. Gignac is on at first. It's in there again for strike 2. It's a 1-2 count to Winship. And Winship check swings. Foul.
Yeah, protecting the plate. And that, you know, it was a half-hearted swing, but it was a protect the plate swing.
And it's fouled back.
He fought that one off, too. I mean, that the pitcher, that was going to drop right over the plate, and Winship stayed with it.
And it's roped
Fair.
into right, and it's fair. So that's going to bring around Rang. And Gignac is going to come around. And Gignac is safe.
And there you go, Winship. Nice hit. Way to go.
So that puts 2 more on the board for Portland, making it 3-0. And that brings up Anthony Bisco with Winship on at third.
Yeah, anything could happen with the runner on third. You know, hit the ball someplace and possibly get another run.
Up high for ball 2.
You know, and the pitcher, he was so close to getting out of this inning. Winship laced the ball down the right field line.
And it's popped up in the infield. And Barker gets the third out, but not after Portland puts 2 more on the board. And after 2 complete, it's Portland 3, Windham nothing. Here we go for the top of the third. Eric Bowen leading off for Windham. Swing and a miss for strike 1.
Well, in the first game, the whole field was in the sun, and now the shadows are starting to creep all over the place.
And that's hit to Rang. Rang fires over. And Crosby had to take a step over to get the ball, but it's still an out, so.
Yeah, he stayed with it.
The designated hitter, number 11, Sam Plummer.
So that brings up Sam Plummer with 1 out. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And it looked like he tried to hold his swing up.
Yeah, he got fooled a little bit on that pitch.
It's in the dirt for ball one. It's up high for ball two. And it's a dribbler foul down the first base side. It's down low for ball three. Makes it a full count. And it's in the dirt for ball four. So 1 out walk for Sam Plummer. And that brings up Logan DeRochers, who last time grounded out to third.
Runner on first with a big lead.
And Payne checks on Plummer. And it's in the dirt for ball one.
Yeah, catcher's going to go out and talk to him. I mean, he's had a lot of baseballs, and here comes the coach too. He's had a lot of baseballs in the dirt, and you know the catcher's had to make a lot of stops. So maybe this visit is to, you know, to just let the pitcher know, you know, get the ball over the plate. You got a runner on first, and anything in the dirt, and that runner could move up.
So it's a 1-0 count. And that's hit to Rang, and it's an out at second, but Crosby had to dive off the bag, and it goes past him on the throw.
Yeah, I mean, Rang made a nice throw over. And, you know, as we saw in the first game today, the Daring game, you know, the Daring. Oh, go ahead, Seth.
So Blake Peoples now up in the dirt for ball one.
You know, as we saw in the Daring game, a couple of times the Daring players just held onto the ball without throwing. And, you know, now they got a runner at second base. Windham does on an errant throw.
It's 2-0 count. Last time Blake Peoples was up, he struck out looking.
Oh, and the Portland pitcher right now could use a strikeout.
And it's hit out to right, and it's by Brewer. And that's going to score one.
Yeah, Brewer wasn't going to catch up to that one as much as he tried. But he did hold him only to a double.
The first baseman, number 34, Alex Wing.
So Alex Wing comes up. with a chance to extend this inning. It's in there for strike one.
Yeah, bad things happen.
Alex Swing last time had a single. And it's by Gignac. So that brings the runner 90 feet away from getting another run for Windham.
Yeah, and as I was saying, bad things happen when you hit a batter, walk a batter, or have an error. And also a pass ball.
And it's fouled back. It's a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Peoples on at third. And it's popped up in the infield. And Payne gets the third out.
Didn't the pitcher for Windham the last half inning also made? So, they say pitchers can't hit or field, but we saw a couple of good catches.
So Windham puts one on the board. And so after 2.5 complete, it's Portland 3, Windham 1. Here we go for the bottom of the third. Henry Bibeau leading off Portland. Last time up, he had an RBI double. It's up high for ball one. Two and 0 count. And it's hit to Martin. Martin fires over. And Wing's foot came off the bag, trying to reach for the ball.
But the third baseman for Windham, he stayed with that. It was a hard hit ball, and for a split second he couldn't find it, and he almost threw him out.
So Grant Crosby coming up with Bibeau. Bibeau takes off. And the ball gets by Raynor. But Bibeau stays on second.
Yeah, I don't think he, even if he was aware of the ball getting away, I don't think Bibeau would have made it to third. But it was a good pitch to run on.
And Crosby last time up struck out swinging. It's inside for ball two.
Well, here with no outs in the bottom of the third, Portland looking to get that run back.
Up high for ball three. And that's hit out to center field, and it's out of the glove of Peoples. And that's going to bring around Bibeau.
Wow. Yeah, that was a tough play. He probably did lose that in the sun. Off the edge of his glove.
So that puts a run on the board for Portland.
Yeah, and Bibeau had to hold up on second because he had to see if it was going to be caught. He probably would have been able to tag up anyway, but he scored on that.
So that brings up Andrew Legere, and Andrew Legere hits it over the shortstop's head, and Crosby's coming around to score. And so Andrew Legere, after grounding out to the third baseman. The first time up, hits it over the shortstop's head.
And we're going to have a visit to the mound. And we'll take a timeout.
And we're back from the mound meeting. Andrew Brewer at the plate. Last time up, grounded out to the second baseman, and Legere takes off, and there's no throw as the ball was in the dirt.
Well, that stolen base and Bobo's stolen base on perfect pitches in the dirt.
And Barker does throw over to second base. And that's roped into right. And that's going to roll to the wall. This could be another triple. Oh, he's getting waved in. And that's an inside the park home run.
An inside the park home run by Andrew Brewer.
Well, I mean, Portland is now starting to really hit the ball.
So that brings up Mason Rang. Last time up, he had a single and a run scored. And there's no outs. So Windham not close to getting out of this inning. Swing and a miss. Strike one. It's a 2-1 count. It's in the dirt for ball three. It's in the dirt for ball four.
And I think we're going to have a pitching change. Here comes the coach again. And we will be back to let you know what happens.
So some fielding changes for Windham. Going from second to shortstop is Logan DeRochers. Going from pitcher to second is Ethan Barker. And the relief pitcher going from shortstop is Brady Harvey. That brings up James Gignac.
And the runner at first with a good-sized lead.
And Rang is checked on. And it's hit foul.
Yeah, tough outing for the Windham pitcher.
And Rang takes off, and the ball goes by.
You know, that's the third stolen base on no throw because it's either been in the dirt or past the catcher. I mean, it seems like Portland knows when to steal the base.
So it's a 1-1 count. It's in the dirt, brushing off Gignac.
Yes, I'll tell you, that catcher did a whale of a job on that one because that would have moved the runner up to third if that had gotten past him.
And it's fouled back. It's a 2-2 count. And it's outside for ball 3.
Yeah, and still nobody out.
And it's fouled.
Well, you know, that was a good safety swing right there.
And it's in the dirt for ball 4. So another walk.
The Bulldog center fielder, number 2, Aidan Demillo.
So that brings up Aidan Demillo with Rang on at second and Gignac on at first. Demillo last time up flew out to center field and it hit him.
I mean, he tried to duck out of the way. He did everything. He tried to duck out of the way, and it still hit him.
The left fielder, number 11, Colby Winship.
So that brings up Colby Winship. With bases loaded, no outs. It's on the inside corner for strike 1.
Well, the Windham's pitch has got his work cut out for him now.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2.
Right fielder is playing deep.
Last time up, he had a 2 RBI triple. And he gets another RBI with a single.
Well, you know, you don't have to swing hard. You just got to swing and hit the ball where the defense is not playing.
So that brings up Anthony Bisco, who is the 9th batter in this inning.
And there's still no outs.
So as long as if Bisco gets a hit or gets on, they'll have hit around the order.
And the first baseman and third baseman in on the grass.
It's in there for strike 1. It's a 1-1 count. It's a ball down in the dirt. It's 2-1 count. It's in the dirt for ball 3. And that's by the first baseman. And so that scores another run for Portland, bringing in Gignac.
Well, that's unfortunate, you know, because I think the first baseman had the throw home on his mind the whole time, but he needed to look at the ball into the glove.
So that brings up who started the inning, Henry Bibeau. Bases are still loaded. It's in the dirt for ball 1. Last time up, which was this inning, reached on an error and scored a run. In the dirt for ball 2. It's on the inside corner for strike 1. And it's fouled back into the stands. So it's a 2-2 count.
Still nobody out.
And it's outside for a ball. So it's a 3-2 count. And it's inside for a ball. So that walks in another run. So Grant Crosby now up. Last time up, he had a double and a run.
Yeah, it's now 10-1.
And it's fouled back.
7 runs in this inning, the bottom of the third, with still nobody out.
And it's fouled back. So it's 0-2 count.
You know, and as a batter for Portland, I'm sure you see the runners on the bases, but you still got to keep your wits about you. And
it's in there for strike 3.
And watch out for a pitch like that.
So the first out comes on a strikeout.
Number 18, Andrew Legere.
And that brings up Andrew Legere, who last time had a single and a run scored. It's foul tipped for strike 1. And that's hit to Barker. Barker just gets the out at first. But that brings in another run for Portland, making it 8 on the inning.
Well, and Windham's 1 out away from getting out of this inning.
So that brings up Andrew Brewer, who last time got an inside the park home run. It's fouled back for strike 1. You have Bisco on at third, Bibeau on at second. It's down low for ball 1. And Portland is in the 10-run rule territory. Still have to play 4.5 innings, where Portland is the home team. It's in the dirt for ball 3. And that's ripped out to right, and Bernard misplays it. So that's going to bring in Bisco and Bibeau. And Brewer gets held at third.
Well, he was running around like, I'm going for it, and I think the coach was smart to hold him up only because, you know, you don't want to make the last out at home, and they are still hitting the ball well.
The third baseman, number 9, Mason Rang.
So that brings up Mason Rang, who last time got walked and scored a run. Down low for ball 1.
Well, and the only thing about a long half inning like this is now the pitcher for Portland hasn't pitched for a while.
It's up high for ball 2.
And so he's got to go back out there. And, yeah, he'll get a few warm-up pitches, but still.
Yeah, Sam Payne, thanks for the runs, but he's probably thinking, let me go out there and pitch. And that last pitch was on the outside corner. So it's a 2-1 count to Rang. Strike 2 on the outside corner.
Yeah, the umpire thought about that and said, you know what, that is a strike at this point.
And it's in the dirt, and Brewer is going to come in and score.
Well, he didn't get to round the bases and score, but, you know, he's had a heck of a half inning, if I say so.
And it's in the dirt for ball 4. So everybody on Portland has rounded the bases and touched home plate this inning. And that's roped into right. And that's by Brewer, or Bernard, trying to dive for the ball. And that's another run.
And the coach for Windham on his way to the mound, and we will take a break.
And we're back. Couple of changes. Brady Harvey goes to third, and Logan Martin comes in to pitch. Forgot to mention James Gignac was the one that was last at bat. And he had a triple.
And I did move the camera over, but the coach and the runner on third had a little conversation about should I run in on the pass ball or not run in on the pass ball.
And Aidan Demillo grounds it out to Martin, who throws over to first. And that ends the long inning. And Portland put 9 on the board. So after 3 complete innings, it's Portland 15, Windham 1. Here we go for the top of the 4th. Leading off for Windham is Colby Raynor. Couple changes in the field for Portland. Carter Page is in left field. James Jignack is in at third, and that was a long single for Raynor.
And that was halfway up the wall.
The pitcher number 3, Logan Martin.
Logan Martin now batting. It's a swing and a miss for strike one.
Correction, Ethan Terrio is the second baseman for Portland.
It's in the dirt for ball one.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Windham batter wasn't on second base, but maybe thinking it was going to go foul, but it was a good 3 or 4 feet off the line, halfway up the wall.
Liam Fay LeBlanc is at first. It's outside for ball two. It's a 2-2 count. It's fouled back. And that's hit to second baseman.
The third baseman number 12, Brady Harvey.
So Ethan Terrio
Was the second baseman who got that line drive and almost through the...
Here for Windham is number 7, Cooper Robichaud.
So we're trying to keep up with the changes here. They're coming pretty fast. And a new batter for Windham, number 7.
So that's Cooper Robert Shaw.
Our crack staff has had the night off. So we're trying to keep up with it.
So it's a 2-1 count. And it's by the catcher.
Becker.
And it's called strike 3. Swinging.
Now pitching for Windham, number 22, Alan Fisher.
So now batting is Alan Fisher. And that's hit to Bebeau, and he fires over to first for the third out. So after 3.5 complete, it's Portland 15, Windham 1. Here we go for the bottom of the fourth. Carter Page leading off. In there for strike one. Bunch of changes for Windham. Strike two. So Fisher Allen in left, Peter Peterson in center, Cooper Robert Shaw in right. It's in the dirt for a ball. It's 1-2 count. Alex Wing at third. Eric Bowen at second. Sam Plummer at first. So it's 2-2 count. And it's hit to Wing, and he fires over for the first out.
Nice scoop and throw.
The second baseman, number 8, Ethan Terrio.
So that brings up Ethan Terrio.
In the student section, making a little bit of rattling noise over there. Little friendly ribbing to the pitcher. Very friendly, I might say.
It's in there for strike one. Swing and a miss. For strike two.
Well, in a game like this where it's 15-1, both teams putting in bench players early.
Fouled back.
Oh, you know, he waited on that pitch. He waited back on it. That was really good. He did foul it back, but he had the patience to wait on it.
And it's off the glove of Martin. And it's Bowen got the ball, threw it to first, and it was misthrown.
You know, that ball was heading towards center field, and the pitcher, you know, hit it right to the second baseman, but they couldn't complete the play.
So Dominic Moffo.
Keep our eye on the runner at first.
Terrio is checked on.
Still a beautiful evening here at 7:30. So nice not to have to wear a jacket.
And it's by the catcher.
And I have to say in this game, the brick wall behind home plate has taken a beating. tonight.
It's outside for ball 2. It's in there for strike 1. It's outside for ball 3. Fouled back. Full count with 1 out. Terrio on at second. And it's on the outside corner for strike 3.
Umpire getting a little animated with his strikeout call.
The first baseman, number 12, Liam Fay LeBlanc.
So Liam Fay LeBlanc comes up with 2 outs. And it's on the outside corner for strike 1. And you can definitely tell that the strike zone's gotten a tiny bit bigger, especially with the 15-1 lead.
Well, and we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th, and Windham's trying to make it so that they can hang a 0 on Portland, because Portland's put up runs in the first 3 innings.
And it's hit to Bowen, and he fires over to first for the 3rd out. So it's the first scoreless inning for Portland, but after 4 complete, it's Portland 15, Windham 1. Here we go for the top of the 5th. Portland leading 15-1.
The batter is the left fielder, number 15, Eric Bowen.
So Eric Bowen leading off for Windham. It's a 1-2 count. And it's in there for strike 3.
Wow, Winship just dropped the hammer on him. Beautiful pitch. Made quick work of that batter.
So 1 away. Couple changes in the field. Regan Buck in center. Dominic Moffo in right.
Correction, it's the designated hitter, Sam Plummer.
So Sam Plummer at the plate. 0-1 count. It's outside for ball 1. That's a 2-1 count. It's in the dirt for ball 3. And swing and a miss for strike 2. Swing and a miss for strike 3.
And the ball gets thrown into left field. Thankfully, no one's on base to move. It's number 1.
Logan DeRocher, the batter for Windham.
It's in there for strike 1 to Logan DeRochers. Low and outside for ball 1. And that's hit back to Liam Winship. And he fires over to first. And that's the ball game. And there's really not much to say about this game other than Portland's bats came alive. And
yeah, I mean, holy smokes. They had some hard hit balls tonight.
I mean, just the third inning alone, everybody touched every single base, and you had an inside the park home run, you had a triple in the same inning, you had 2 triples, you had a bunch of walks in that, and this game definitely came down to that third inning and why it was blown wide open.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. You know, you don't want to see a team get beat 15-1. But on the other hand, I think Portland really needed to have a game where they hit the ball hard, they ran, they had some good fielding. I think that Portland needed a game like this. Windham certainly did not need a game like this, and you don't want to see that. But confidence booster-wise, you know, some of these players going forward, you know, is probably really nice to be able to get a hold of some pitches like that.
And, I mean, if you're going to lose a game, you might as well lose it big, because losing the close games are more heartbreaking than losing the blowout games. And it's easier to move on from these losses compared to a close game. And so Windham just needs to come back and forget about this game, because this is a game that is definitely easily forgotten by Windham. But for Portland, they definitely need to hold on to this game and take away all the things that they did well going into the next game they play. But Portland coming away with the win 15-1 over Windham, and saying so long. This has been a production of TV3 Portland Public Schools, saying good night.